Healthcare workers convicted of sexually assaulting their patients and then back on the job. We just showed you the case of a psychologist who raped his 13-year-old patient and is working again. We were stunned to discover 44 cases in all, and one of those doctors may have broken the law again.
7 Action News investigator Heather Cataldo takes a deep look at 2 more shocking cases and answers the question, how could this have happened?
According to court records and police reports, Dr. Donald Quinn is a dentist who drugged, sexually assaulted, and beat a woman. She asked us to protect her identity. She testified anonymously in 2011 before legislators working on a bill to stop health professionals like Quinn from practicing.
I do not remember a lot about the assault. He was heavily drugged.
But she didn't have to remember. Police records show Dr. Quinn videotaped some of the assaults. Too fragile to testify, the patient agreed to a plea deal. Dr. Quinn was convicted of 2 counts of criminal sexual conduct and 3 other felonies. He spent a year in jail and his license was suspended. But last year, Quinn's dental license was reinstated.
I've been trying to testify trial. After the trial, I do worry a great deal about unprotected patient persons.
According to the sex offender registry, Dr. Quinn lists 3 work addresses, but we did not find the dentist working in any of those locations. We found him here instead.
We'd like to talk to you about why you got your license back after a sex crime conviction. Can we talk to you for a minute?
A dentist who said he hired Dr. Quinn at Southfield Dental Care told us Quinn has been working there for 9 months. The man also said Quinn has been doing a good job. But when I pointed out it's a felony for sex offenders like Quinn to fail to tell the state where they're working, he said, "What's the big deal?"
I really have nothing to say.
Last month, Senators Rick Jones and Tanya Shootmaker introduced a new bill that would permanently revoke the license of any health professional convicted of a sex crime.
It's one of the worst crimes you can commit on somebody other than murder. For somebody to get their license back after they've attacked a patient is outrageous.
But the proposed law won't do anything to stop Dr. Gordon or Dr. Quinn from practicing. Legal experts say Michigan law prevents legislation like this from being applied retroactively because it would violate existing licensees' rights.
I can't create a law that goes ex post facto and goes back in history and says, you did this 5 years ago, so now we're going to give you this penalty. But those records are there. And if there is any new infraction, the boards will be able to review past behavior.
When you violate your patient's trust, I think that's when you forfeit your right to use whatever medical talents you have.
Joanne Naylor testified against her former eye doctor, Matthew Berman. A jury convicted Dr. Berman in 2008 of 4th-degree criminal sexual conduct, landing him on probation for 5 years. His license was briefly suspended. This is Dr. Berman back to work at one of his 3 Metro Detroit offices. He refused an interview with 7 Action News, but when we asked him about the 3 female patients who said he touched them inappropriately, he said they made it up.
I do not think that he should be allowed to practice.
So how do healthcare workers convicted of sex crimes get their licenses back? A board comprised of licensed workers from their field reviews their case. If the board denies reinstatement, the health worker can appeal to an administrative judge at a hearing, but the board has to okay the judge's ruling. Board meetings and hearings are public, but unlike parole boards, the state does not tell the victims about the hearings. According to state records, at his hearing, Dr. Julian Gordon admitted to harming the 13-year-old as well as another boy who testified against him at trial. This is from Gordon's statement to the board that reinstated his license.
After years of treatment and contemplation, I feel I understand enough about my offense cycle and deviancy to successfully manage myself and prevent relapse.
I believe he's saying what he has to say to get what he wants to get. I believe his only way to make up for anything is to move on, get away from this field and find something different.
But Dr. Gordon has no intention of leaving the counseling field. Gordon would not talk to us on camera, although he did say he's committed to only working with adults. Meanwhile, the new legislation to revoke a medical license permanently passed the Senate, and right now it's pending approval
in the house. I'm Heather Catallo, 7 Action News.
Now here's important information. If you want to find out about your doctor, your counselor, any health professional, go to WXYZ.com. We're going to tell you how.
We also have information about each of the 49 healthcare workers convicted of a sex crime. Important information.